Hello and welcome to the final episode of 2023 of Advertisers Watching Ads. This is a weekly show where brands watch other brands' ads.
This is quite a secretive, unexplored, yet to be discovered kind of vibe. And you can almost be a part of that club by using Yeti and the products.
And you get people nearer to you that you then also meet up, and that's like a sense of adventure together.
The idea of boldly going where Google Maps hasn't gone before, I think is a nice, edgy idea.
My name is Tom Ollerton. I'm the founder of Automated Creative, the creative effectiveness ad tech platform. And before we see this week's ad, let's meet this week's guests.
I'm Natalie. I'm the digital media manager at Mars Pet Nutrition UK.
Hi, I'm Arijit Sengupta. I'm the global brand head at Reckitt.
Hi, I'm Finn Campbell. I'm the eCommerce manager for the UK for FrieslandCampina.
What a panel. What you guys don't know probably isn't worth knowing. So let's see how that knowledge works on this week's ads. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how many points would you give this with your fingers on 3? 1, 2, 3. 4, a 3 and a 3. Blimey. Okay, guys, I'm not sure I fully understand what's going on here. Who did their homework and who would like to explain what is going on in this execution?
What they're looking to do here is take you onto their site to help you find new places that you can explore that aren't naturally mapped. So the trails that you'd look up naturally when you go onto your apps like Komoot or Strava to go and find new places in the wild aren't always going to be mapped. You're not going to have those footpaths or anything else. And what they've done here is taken you in to a site where they've gone and found some leading people in the adventure world to give you new places to explore, to give you new hikes, new trails, new parts of the wild that haven't previously been mapped, places that you can really be an adventurer and get to see a different side of the wild that you wouldn't have before.
I love this campaign. They have this whole idea of rugged products which are built for the wild. And this whole campaign is kind of working at a functional and emotive level, right? At a functional level, it's saying that our products are so rugged, built for the wild that let's take a superlative. We're going to go to a really wild place which isn't even on the map. And that's where we're going to take our product. At an emotive level, this whole brand is about, talking to the explorer in all of us, who has that wanderlust to walk off the beaten path and go to the edge of the world. And that's what this campaign is speaking to.
Yeah, for sure. I think initially I was questioning if they were bringing out their own app. Doing the research, I've understood that it's actually more integrated into Google Maps to literally go beyond the map. So once I understood that piece of the puzzle, it all kind of fell into place a little bit more. And actually, I then realized this is an incredible piece of branding and product placement. It's not very often you can get your products placed into Google Maps just by uploading beyond the street view that currently exists. So I thought actually, taking a step back, it's an incredible piece of product placement where they gave everybody one of those cooler bags. So you get a really clear product view as well as an amazing trail that you get to experience either on the map itself or you can go and do the trail, which is really clever.
Would have been great to kind of open this up to everyone and for everyone to showcase that magical place which they have discovered and then really create a lot of UGC, right? But right now, because they've kind of left it to these 15 ambassadors, you just have few trails which they're showcasing in this campaign right now.
Where's the user-generated content? Where's the ones that make people go, can you add your photos to it? Yeah. Can you get people nearer to you that you then also meet up, and that's like a sense of adventure together? I feel like it's the great sapling of it, but they had a chance to sort of grow it into a bit of a tree and just haven't quite got there. And maybe that's the idea later on.
One of the nice thing about the campaign is instinctively you kind of feel that this has legs for a phase 2 and a phase 3, right?
There is a tiny piece on their website where they explain how you can add to the campaign, but it's so small it does feel like a little bit of a miss, particularly when it's a really engaging thing to do if you are going to go and follow one of these trails, which is off the beaten track, which you might not have known about. To be able to share your experience, particularly as we go through different seasons, trees might lose their leaves. The path might start to look a little bit different if there's snow and ice. It would be good to almost have it for all weathers and all seasons, which is actually something that Google Maps doesn't do. It doesn't necessarily cater for as many changes as there are. And that's something that they could really fill the gap in even more on, particularly with these maps.
The only thing for me is there's an element of slight irony and contradiction to it. We've mapped the gaps. They've said that it's not mappable, it's not there, no one's going to see it. But if they've only got 10, 15 of these, and this is meant to be a genuinely massive campaign for them, if I'm turning up somewhere that I got told had 0 people and wasn't mapped, and another 30 people who use Yeti and saw the ad turned up that weekend, I'd be going, well, this is a bit ironic, isn't it? I came to explore the unexplored with my new Yeti backpack. Maybe that's the phase 2 that we talk about. And it's that user-generated content to actually mean that it's just not 15 places. And it then does become genuinely unknown.
It's trying to find the balance between accessibility for all versus that 2%, which isn't accessible for a reason. And I feel like they've tried to maybe bridge the gap by going, some of these places are beaches, which you might not know of the beach potentially, but it's potentially also not that unexplored. And I feel like there's something missing in that 2% of a 1 mile hike across a beach or across a landscape that isn't maybe necessarily the 2%. It's just that it's a beach and Google Maps hadn't gotten down there yet.
The idea of boldly going where Google Maps hasn't gone before, I think is a nice, edgy idea. It's that execution where they could have just kind of taken it further and added this layer where they get their whole community together to kind of build towards like reaching a destination, right? And that's where I think is the only place where this idea isn't like fully maximized.
If I didn't know what Yeti was, I would have been mindly confused what this was actually. I thought this originally was just a normal backpack. They've created a message, but I'm not really sure how I was meant to engage with it properly. Am I meant to be exploring? Am I meant to be mapping the gap? Or am I meant to be following the mapped gap? And it's the messaging behind that. I got a bit confused at points and struggled to understand where the product kind of fit into that message they were saying.
I really love the cinematography of the ad, I have to say. And I think with the product of the backpack and when they zoom out and you have all the multiple shots of the different ambassadors, I think that's really quite compelling and it's really interesting to look at. I think they might have missed a trick by using the same color backpack. And I think had different ambassadors been given a different color product, that might have then drawn our eye slightly more to the product, especially as you zoom out and you see all the different ambassadors. And that could have been a really big trick to go, oh, actually, there is a commonality here and it's not just the paths. I wonder what that color is or what that type of backpack is. And they may have missed a slight trick on that, but I do like the kind of the style that they've currently got. And it does give a real global feel, especially when we're zooming out in that ad for the 360 and the different views there are. But when you dig into it a little bit, it's not as global as you think it is. If you don't know Yeti, I think there could be a slight miss there somewhere.
I don't think this campaign is for people who've never heard of Yeti before, right? The fact that I had heard of Yeti before, I mean, this campaign made sense. But if I didn't know what that Yeti on that person's back was, you'd be like, like scratching your head, right?
Exactly. And I just look into the format of the ad. That's a YouTube short. That's an ad format that's designed for social media and quick engagement and mass impressions, which therefore of your mass impressions, you're probably going to get quite a few people who don't understand it. And therefore trying to actually put your brand forward as something new and bring people into it and drive that sort of understanding of what Yeti is. I'd been thinking it's a backpack. And that's what I was interested in. But it'd been a longer format ad or something which engaged really directly with their consumer base, like a little bit of a longer one that goes, oh, this is our Christmas ad, with that time of the year. It would have made more sense to me, something which they went and searched for it. But this sort of short one generally drives a sort of a larger impression base and means that you need to rely on people understanding the brand if you're going to go for that level of it, in my view.
I think they're really trying to pull together a community feel as well. This is quite a secretive, unexplored, yet to be discovered kind of vibe. And you can almost be a part of that club by using Yeti and the products and the app that it provides to really, really build that feel with our ambassadors and their brand. So I think that's a really interesting element to the campaign, as well as just exploring. It's kind of going beyond that one step further.
That seems to be the target for this campaign. The objective really is to create saliency and buzz within their community, people who already know what Yeti is. It definitely doesn't seem to be a campaign to recruit new users, right, who have no idea what Yeti is about.
Would you sign off this campaign, thumbs up or down, in its current form? 1, 2, 3. Oh, well done, Yeti. That is a result. Guys, thank you so much for your time. We'll see you all next year.